dear ladies and gentlemen, this is your beloved host, Like Crypto here, and welcome to my dedicated airdrop guide on Nansen. And I usually don't do dApp specific guides, I focus on chains, but sometimes I do make the exception when there is a high quality project in question. And I think Nansen is one of them. And I'm going to prove to you why I think that. So first and foremost, they have raised $88 million so far, which is a considerable amount of money given to the fact that this is not a layer 2 project. It is not EVM copy or anything like that. And those are usually types of projects that tend to raise the most amount of money in these fundraisings. So usually when it comes to like specific niches, in case of Nansen, which is basically a form of it's an AI service in a way, but it's also like a portfolio manager. And in a niche like that, raising so much money is actually quite impressive. And there are some big partners involved in here, like Coinbase Ventures. We have BitScale Capital, and we have Andreessen Horowitz as well. So there's some big players actually involved in here in terms of the funding. Now let's kind of jump into a bit of the criteria over here and why I think this is a very high quality thing to farm. So first and foremost, they actually just did, I think few days ago, actual airdrop for the people who are actually been gathering points on the platform. And this is not obviously the first time we are featuring Nansen on the channel. I did mention it on at least 2 or 1 of my previous airdrop videos, but I thought that I would actually make a dedicated video to kind of highlight how important airdrop do I think this is. And you are kind of relatively early also to jump in. So basically they gave Wallet Connect airdrop. The lowest tier was $50 for people who had the first tier, which is the green tier. And then there were also tiers that basically got like $500 and $400. So it was a pretty considerable amount of airdrop for a lot of people who basically had points under Nansen. Now, they also did another airdrop under the DeFi app, and basically they gave 13K home. That is actually in the current price $500. However, I do need to actually trade on the platform, on the perps and swap trade to basically unlock this money. And it's actually quite a lot of trading, so I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to complete that $500 unlock from this project. But it's nonetheless, for like a big trader, it's like a decent amount of money in my opinion. So technically, the whole thing has already given us a lot of money in return. So everything basically revolves around the current point system. So let's go into the point system here. Currently we are in season 1, and when you have season 1, that always means that they are obviously saying that there's going to be a season 2. And I'm currently at the tier green. So the normal is base camp, then there's green, ice, north, and star. So on the previous airdrops, basically the airdrops were distributed based on your tier. So we are assuming here that everybody who basically gets into the green tier will be getting the Nansen airdrop. That's basically, I would say, 99% guaranteed. I might also believe that some of the base camp tier, maybe you get 500 points or something like that, you also might actually get an airdrop. And then obviously, if you get to ice, you get to north, you get to star, you're also going to be getting an airdrop. But those are going to be having... Getting into ice and north and above is going to be pretty hard, at least in the current systems, the way it works. So we're going to be going through on a bit of the criterias. So there is a lot of ways actually, ways to earn, which I do like about it, and most of them are very easy and non-grindy. And the most easiest way is basically staking. And the first thing here, which is very easy to get on the points, is the staking. So first of all, if you have over $1,000 staked out, you're going to be getting 900 points, which means you only need 100 points more to basically get into the green tier. So if you're already staking on Sui, you're staking on any of the Cosmos chains, you're staking on Solana, on Near, on all the other things which we're going to be looking into a second, you're basically almost automatically getting into the green tier. It's a very low effort. And in most cases right now, as we're talking about staking in the other Atom chains and a lot of other projects right now, there's not really a lot of delegates you want to really go for, which would be like high value staking targets. In Sui, we have like things like Aftermath and things like that. But honestly, I basically changed just like over $1,000 of Sui into the Nansen Delegator because this is so much more worth it. So that's one thing. Now, if you have more than 20k staked out, you're going to be getting 2x boost on the NXP, which are going to be given out each week. So I'm getting around 2 points, which is not like super much. But now that I have increased my staking amount, it's going to be a lot more. And obviously, like I said, you get a one-time 900 points by having over 1k staked, which is very easy. So this is the selected chains which are going to be giving you these points from. That is Hyperliquid, that is Solana, Sui, Atom, Tia, Ron, DYDX, Starknet, Mantra, Avalanche, Kava, Osmosis, Akash, Babylon, Band, Shen2, I don't even know what, I think this IPG chain, Self-Chain, Terra, Persistence, Agoric, and Archway. So a lot of options here. A lot of options, good options over here, especially over Solana. There's not really good delegators to go for. So if you're already staking, most of you probably have liquid staking Solana tokens. But if you have a lot of Solana lying around and you don't mind staking a bit of it, like 1,000 for a short period of time, once you unstake, you're not going to lose those points, just so you know. So that's very easy money here. So that's for staking. Now, then there is obviously the subscription. And we're going to talk about that in a second. And then there's this easy task. So basically you get 80 points by just like doing basic random shit. And these are very easy tasks. So basically that's your 20 points away from 1,000. And there might have been some other, basically then you get the staking points. So you're going to be maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're going to be hitting 1,000 pretty fast. So that's relatively easy. But then there is the subscription. Now, the subscription is not cheap. This is something I did say on the previous videos. I do actually have a 10% coupon. So the first person to DM me on Telegram or Discord, I'm going to hook you up with my coupon code. Also, obviously, when people are going to be signing under me, I'm going to be getting points from that. So basically getting referrals for Nansen who are going to be buying points are also going to be increasing your points in the system. My personal goal right now, before the whole season thing ends, is to get into the 10k. I want to get into the ice tier. I think that's going to be giving us a considerable amount of airdrop. And I think the normal tier, the 1,000 points, are going to be giving you at least $100 of an airdrop. It's hard to say, really. And this is also season 1. They already state in their systems that, or in the website, I mean, that there is going to be different ways to earn NXP in the second season. So there's going to be different criteria. Might be more social media tags, might be galcs, things like that. But right now, it's basically buying the thing and staking. Now, you're going to be getting points based on the dollar spent. So if you're going to be going for the month, let's say you're going to be subscribing for one single month, and this will give you all these AI features that they have here. There's a lot of good data on this platform, by the way. Like if you're looking for a platform like, tracking your portfolios, watch list, all that type of stuff. And that is $129 for a month. You can basically subscribe for 1 month and you're going to be getting 10 points per dollar spent. So basically by just doing the $129 a month, you are going to be automatically upgraded into the first tier. So what I'm basically trying to say here, that it's very likely that the people who are going to be reaching the green tier on Nansen are definitely going to be recouping their investment in case they're going to be doing 1 month of subscription on the Pioneer status at $129. Obviously, you can find those discount codes and basically pay less. You're still going to be getting more than 1,000 and you're going to be upgraded into green. And that is kind of like the strategy going onwards. Obviously, you have the referral options as well. And as they state here is that there's going to be different seasons are going to be unlocking different types of rewards and different earning mechanisms. So there might be more social types of, quests in the season 2 and 3, or there might be other ways to basically contribute by creating content or yapping and things like that. So that's kind of still in the cards. I also want to tell people that there's going to be other types of benefits by reaching those tiers. So you're going to be getting access to GoingGecko Premium and other types of like stats sites you can discount on Ledger wallets. Not a fan of Ledger, obviously. and then there's going to be other types of discounts on other types of things, and there's going to be other rewards which are going to be activated in the future. Even Bybit is involved in here, which probably alludes into the idea that Bybit is likely going to be listing the token at launch, which is also a bullish thing. So they might be partnered, and maybe they are. I don't know if BitScale Capital is same as. Are these two related to each other? I'm not 100% sure, but probably they are in some staking capability, or I mean investment capability. They are involved with Nansen. So what is bullish about Nansen is that there isn't really that many similar types of products which are delving into AI and portfolio management on a similar scale. And it's just kind of like in a good niche, just like Arkham. It doesn't really have that much competition, and it definitely has raised the most amount of money in its own category. And as I said, this is pretty easy airdrop to farm because, as I already said, only thing you really need to do is just changing your staking validator to Nansen, and that's going to be giving you almost immediately the green status, just like that. Or you just basically do the 1 month of subscription and you're going to be getting over 1,000 points on that. Now obviously getting into the higher tiers, into ICE, into what was it called, Star, and all those things. Sometimes this website is loading very poorly. So those are going to be a bit more harder to get into ICE North and Star, in my opinion, because those require considerable amount of staking amount of money, because you need to at least have 20k to get those NXP multipliers on staking, and that's not something that everybody just has lying around, obviously. And there's also no Ethereum staking capability here, which probably not a lot of people are going to be doing regardless. And make sure you're going to be also putting your, when you're going to be signing in, make sure you're going to be adding all your addresses here on the staking tab and also in the permissionless rewards, because that's where you're going to be getting the rewards, just like I got the Valid Connect airdrop earlier. Those are going to be distributed there. So you're not going to be getting those airdrops if you are not going to be adding that shit there. So make sure you do that. That basically wraps up my overview of Nansen. Obviously, we're not talking about anything of the product itself that much. Using these AI signals and these types of things, most of them are behind a paywall. They're likely not going to be having any form of impact on how much you use the platform. They're going to be having a very little impact on your points as of season 1 at least. So and they might be introducing like trading or perps maybe in the future on the platform. So there's gonna be some kind of swapping feature, and that's probably gonna be part of like season 2 or 3 perhaps. But that basically is what I have to say. As I said, please subscribe, hype the video. That seems to be a new feature in YouTube, whatever, and obviously share it. And if you have any questions, I will try to answer to my best ability based on what I know. Thanks for watching. See you soon in the next video.